Well, welcome to Stencils and Such. We have two new stencils. Well, in England, they call them masks, so that's why you see this big word mask. This is called a two-in-one. They're both called two-in-one because you can separate and take the frame and use it separately or use it together. Then this is a circles pattern, and this is a wonderful woolly, looking very much stitched, doesn't it? Okay, and here is just one of the many things that you can do with these stencils. So please, won't you come play with us? Okay, for our very first card, now I've got 5 cards, I think, to share with you, so, have something to drink if you like. Okay, this is the stitch circles, and as I said, it's the two-in-one. And to use this to make this, it's not hard, it really isn't. We are going to use the Astro Paste. These are from Ranger and Simon Hurley, and they all have very interesting names. Bee Sting and Slippery When Wet. Let me see. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what color that is. Clear Skies, well, that's a light blue. There's also Tropical Tango is kind of a teal. And we've got Roar, which is kind of a pinky orange, I think. And then we also have Crown Me, which is a blue, I believe. Okay, so what you do is get out your craft mat, and I will do that. And Debbie did this, and she used black cardstock, which I thought was an interesting choice. And she did use the stencil separately, but I'm just going to leave it together for this very brief demo that I'm going to do. And I'm not going to go through the whole step, but I just want to show you how she did it. So you can see that there's lots of colors, but it is so much easier to get all of that than you might think. You might think that you have to just do it very, very carefully. Well, you can kind of do a dollop of the Astro Paste over some of these circles. So I'm just going to put a dollop right here, maybe 2 dollops. Okay. Then I'm going to put the lid back on. You do want to make sure, well, 2 things. You want to make sure that you have paper towels, and you want to make sure that you also have water, because you don't want these products to dry on your stencil, because then that causes some problems. So I've got the one, now I'm doing, let's see, this is the Bee Sting. Well, we don't want a bee sting. That's what's there. And I'm going to just press them through the stencil as I have my palette knife. Now, normally I would have my low-tack tape holding this down, except that I forgot to grab it, and I didn't want to stop this process. So I'm going to just put that. And I'm not going to worry if I go outside that circle. That's perfectly fine, because there is kind of a blending of colors. So I do want to wipe that off. I'm going to go back to my dollop over here and spread that a bit. And you would do this through several colors. And one of the neat things about any of the pastes, and we do have several varieties here at Paper Wishes, is that it takes so little to get an effective look. And that's really, really nice. I think I'll do the Slippery When Wet. That's an interesting name. And just add that. Oh, we'll go, maybe I'll just go right here. Keep those circles close together and spread that. Okay. Just like so. I think I have a little bit more than I need. So I'm going to put some back and just spread that. You're just rubbing it against the stencil. You want to, can you hear that scraping? You want to hear that scraping. Okay, now when you're done, or you think you're done, go back with your palette and just go over everything, just to make sure that you have covered everything. And it's just fine to let some of those colors mix a bit. So let me lift this off, and ta-da, look at that. Very, very pretty. Now you can see I've got some of the red into the gold, a little tiny bit into the blue. That's perfectly fine. In fact, let me show you what Debbie had. Now when it dries, you're going to get that sparkle. You can see a little bit of it now, but it's going to get so much more intense when it dries. I love it on the black. Now I am going to get all of that off. When you do the scraping, be sure not to put that back in any of the containers, because you'll be mixing it and it will not be pretty. You wouldn't be happy with that. So at this point, I would put my stencil back into water so that it can you know, get cleaned off. But while I'm here, just for a moment, I just want to show you that Debbie also used the outside frame. Now, this frame goes all the way around, so you only use half of it for two sides, and then turn it over or get another area for the other two sides. Do it the exact same way. Just put dollops of the Astro paste and then spread it with your palette knife. And that will work perfectly. The congratulations comes from our Dazzles, the greetings. This is in pearl, and so congrats, and the hearts are part of it. Also these little flowers, that's part of the Dazzle set. Now Debbie did take this piece and trim it down to 4.5 inches square. She matted it onto the Gold Mary and attached that to her card, and then of course the card already had this black on it and had been covered in black, so it just all works together beautifully. Such a stunning card, and really good for so many things. Birthday, congratulations, thinking of you, have an amazing day. So all of those, and you can see that's getting very sparkly. So that's very fun. Okay, now I'm going to slide this over and bring out the next card. And Lene did this one, and using the exact same stencil, she has done something different. So she took her plain white card. This is 5 by 6.5 inches, the standard size that we use. And she used the teal ink pad to color all of the edges, and then even went into the center. Now in the center, she also used the leafy green. So she's done a little bit of the leafy green and then gone back with the blue. All of that with, Lene likes to use the blender tool, which is this, and it has the foam pads on it. So just tap in there, do a little bit. You can change these, or you can wash them, whichever you like, and then do the teal first. So that starts her card. So then she went in with one of our favorite things, the stencil butter, and this is fuchsia. So she has got teal, kind of a lime green, and this fuchsia color. Beautiful colors together. And you can see how she placed the stencil. So the circles, she just did a couple of them in the center and did that with the stencil butter, again with the palette knife. And then the frame just was placed right here, and she just let it go off the edge, and she used the stencil butter there. So that was really nice. Now this is the tent card from our friends at Hunky Dory. It is 5 by 7 inches, so it has a little bit more space. For her embellishment, she used something that also has a lot of color, and these are Mystic Feathers. This is foiled paper towel. Paper towel means that there are layers, and they're already die cut for you. So you can see these this beautiful feather. Well, it has one layer, a second layer, and a third layer. Those are all already die cut for you. So what you do is you take the item that's marked number 1, there it is right there, and glue that down or foam tape it down first. And then number 2, And then number 3 goes on top, and they get foam taped on top, and you will get this beautiful look. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, she needed a greeting, so she did elect to use our blue big word dazzles. So this has got hello, I love you, happy birthday, thank you, with love, and some icons, and she has used that on the front. And then she went into our teal mirror dazzles just for some circles to add some embellishment. Oh, by the way, with that Mystic Feathers, there are a couple of birds too, and she has foam taped one right down here sitting on that frame. Just beautifully done. Nice way to go, don't you think? Okay, now we're going to go into the next stencil. Okay, now we're going to get into the wonderful woolly. So we have again the stencil in 2 parts, and look what Debbie has done. Isn't that fun? So you've got 2 colors going on, and you also have a pattern inside that stencil. The pattern was done with a template. And so here is the template. In fact, let me put a white paper under it so you can really see it a little bit better. There we go. So this is 25 hearts. It's a 12 by 12 template. And it also has some ideas. You can make a balloon tie. You can make it like a patchwork one. You can use hearts to make flowers. Just lots of ideas. So that's free, and there are directions on it also. But what Debbie has done is she has a 6 by 6 card, but then she took a 6 by 6 piece of paper and she traced a heart. Let's see, which heart did she use? Let me scoot this over so you can see. And she traced this heart into the center of her stencil, and then she cut it out. You can use, we like to use the pen knife and put this on a self-healing mat and simply cut it out, and then be sure to retract the blade because you don't want to be putting your arm on it. Okay, so then we have a 6 by 6 piece here, and we're going to put this onto our card as Debbie. This is our first step, by the way. And place that onto, you want to put some low-tack tape to hold it in place. And you see, this is the one that Debbie used. And she went back and used the same fuchsia that we had in the last card and spread that on with her palette knife. And the wonderful thing, and you know, we have done this now for many, many weeks. This is the first time we have used a pattern inside a stencil, and I think it's just quite brilliant. Now, the next thing that she did is she took the center part of the stencil, waited for that to dry, obviously, and placed it right over it, put tape to hold it down, and then she used the Velvet Fawn ink pad, which is a very soft brown. It's kind of almost the color of the year, isn't it? And going to put that and use a blender brush, or you can use the blender tool, either one, to make that happen. So then you've got this on top. And by the way, she did use a craft cardstock as her base. So that Velvet Fawn is just a very soft brown on top of the craft. And of course, our fuchsia just really pops. On the outside, well, of course, she used the frame. Again, you want to tape it in place. And you probably want to do this in a couple of steps so that you can hold that tape down, do, you know, a couple of the areas, and then move the tape and finish the areas and let it dry. Of course, the nice thing about any of the pastes is that then they are three-dimensional. So you can feel them as well as see them. And of course, they do, the stencil butters, just like the Astro paste, they are shiny when they dry. Now, Debbie did use our straight line dazzles. That's how she got that gold border. So she didn't mat it, she just put the dazzles on top. This is our script dazzles that I showed you a minute ago with love is right there. Isn't that pretty? Way to go, Debbie. Okay, now we'll get into our next card. And this one has another technique that's going on. This too is our Debbie. Now, since she had this stencil, she thought, why not use it even more? And so she did a couple of things. In fact, I'm going to demonstrate this for you. So she took a white piece of cardstock, and I'm going to place this on my craft mat. And again, if I had remembered my tape, I would have it here. So what we want to do is we want to emboss this. And the way that we're going to do it is to take our embossing tools. This is a Hunky Dory product. There are 3 of them. All of them have a rounded edge, but some are narrower than others. And I just noticed that 2 of them have a narrow edge. You probably want to use the smaller one. The other thing that's handy when doing this process is to mist your cardstock. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to take this stencil and I'm going to, see, I would normally turn it over, but I'm not going to do that because you won't see anything. So I'm just going to kind of talk you through it. So lightly mist the cardstock. Here we go. So just a little bit. You're going to see it raise up. This is with water. Then put this on top. Then you would turn it over and you would go to find those areas that are evacuated, okay? Now, if I had a light table, that would make it very easy too. You can just rub it and start seeing what's going on. And again, if I were on a light table, then you start using the tool to press into the areas. And Jeanette, can you get in close to see this? There we go. So you can see that I found I found one, and you just continue. So you're just rubbing. It's all you're doing. And if you have a light table or a window, that will give you light behind it. And you're just going to go all over that. Then you're going to continue. Then you can turn it over. In fact, you can you see that? There you go. You can really see. It's super easy. I wasn't pushing hard because you don't want to push all the way through it. You just want to give it some depth. Okay, let me scoot this over and I'll put my embossing tool. This is actually great for making flowers kind of get 3D look. So that's a good thing to know. Okay, so we have used our stencil that I have now lost. And then you're going to go back and cut out this heart. So this is the shape that she used, and trim that out. And then she did an ombre look. So she's got 3 colors of ink pads. So let me show you. They are orchid at the bottom, and she has lipstick in the middle, and she has vintage rose at the top. So just doing that along with the blender brush, so you can see that that just did it nicely. Now you could do that before or after you cut it into a heart. It makes no difference, but you do want to kind of edge it with the orchid. So just go right along the edge of the cardstock, pretend like this is the one that I embossed, and just go right along the edge like that. And that will give you a nice, gentle edge to it. So that works nicely. Then what she foam taped this on is a piece from X-Ray Flowers. In fact, it's kind of this linen look, and that covers her 6x6 card. And she did also do one of the frames, and that was done with orchid. Just going right, again, with a blender brush, going right around the edge. It makes a really nice edge. And it's kind of fun to see that going at different angles than what's on our heart. The heart is foam taped in place. The Friends Forever, well, that's just one of the 31 dies that are in the X-Ray Flowers die cuts. And then around this edge, she used our straight line colorful dazzles. There are 10 different colors in this pack, and she has used that and just made a really pretty card. Now again, this could be lots of things. Valentine, thinking of you, anniversary, I love you, just lots and lots of things. Friends Forever, how about that? So that will work nicely too. Now I have one more idea for you. And this is also using that same stencil, and it is right here. And this has been placed onto specialty paper, and I think that's always so fun. So she took her card, and this is also the tent card. So it is 5 by 7 inches, and covered it with this purple lavender. It's called Diamond Sparkles. It's really a non-shed glitter cardstock. So first covered her card with that, and then went back with the stencil. So we have the Wonderfully Woolly, and placed it on top, and then used the Dune stencil butter. Now, this may not look terribly exciting in the container, but look what a great job it does of creating a background. And again, it will raise up because that's what it does with stencils. And she also used the frame just on the top and on the bottom. So placing it like so, using the stencil butter. And then this piece, well, that is part of the paper towel that I showed you earlier with that beautiful feather. So this has this piece. There's also a bird cage, but here's this piece. And again, it has been foam taped on place, and it's got these pieces that to make it three-dimensional that are foam taped. And there's always extra art, and that's what those are. Now she also used some dazzles, the teal border dazzles down at the top and bottom. And then she also used the Happy Birthday dazzles. This has, goodness, I think there's 10 sheets in all different colors. They just say happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. And looks like the pink one was used right there just to finish off that card. So very pretty. I think you get the idea that there is just so much that you can do with these stencils. And that is exactly what we want. Now the circle one, let me see, it's still sitting in the water. Let me quickly pat it off. Just right here. Okay, there you go. Just want to show you these together. There we go. So you have seen 5 projects using these, lots of different ways and lots of different techniques. And I think it's really nice that Hunky Dory has come up with this 2-in-1 with the center area as well as the frames. And you can see you can piece those frames together to make different sizes. You can use, just the top and the bottom if you like, lots of different things. Okay, that's what we have today. There is a money saver. In the money saver is the template also. And speaking of that money saver, which is on the right side of your screen, there is also a subscription. Now the Stencils and Such subscription is only $15 a month, and you will always get at least 2 stencils. Upon occasion, you'll get more, but you'll always get 2. And you will always get a variety of stencils too. So that's what's really fun. And you will get a free goodie. This month, well, all of our members received the 25 Hearts template. So that's a really nice bonus for this month, isn't it? So if you would like to join us with our Stencil subscription, it also is on the right-hand side of the screen. And we do welcome you to join us because we're just finding out so many things that you can do with stencils. And, you know, I think they're all just really, really fun. You can go from this to that. Oh, you can add some fun ideas on the inside. So we welcome you to join us. If you are seeing this on YouTube, we would invite you to please give us a comment. Tell me what you think about this idea of having different stencils every single month for that low, low price, by the way, and getting free goodies. Also, if you have a comment on any of the cards, we would love to hear it. Do leave us a comment if you can. Please like us and subscribe. That helps us get our ratings up, and we're interested in doing that. And we'd love to have you as part of our family. Then head on over to paperwishes.com, where you can get the Money Saver. You can sign up for the subscription. And as I said, be part of our family. Anyone can leave a comment. If you're watching us on Paper Wishes, just scroll down, 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 down further, and you'll see the comment area. No, you don't have to buy to give us a comment. We want to hear what you have to say anyway. So thank you for joining us, and I do want to thank Debbie and Lene for sharing their creativity in such wonderful ways. I'm going to go back and try this some more. Have fun, and thank you for being part of our Paper Wishes family. Bye-bye.